Hello. You're tuning into the episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's second topic, the Dan Le Batard Show. Literally, and I mean they literally say, Lamar Jackson's MVPs do not matter. Look, I get it. I'm just going to make this point clear. I get it. Some people it'll never be enough, right, for some people to accept Lamar, no matter what he does. But to have such an asinine statement to say you have achieved nothing, it's hypocritical. It's wrong. It lacks credibility because they're not saying that if this is Justin Herbert. They're not saying that if this is Joe Burrow. They're not saying that if it's Josh Allen. You get where I'm coming from? What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the clip so you can hear this drivel because it's absolute drivel. And I promise y'all, please stay for this episode because I'm slapping the mess out this dude. Because for now on, every time I get a chance, I'm going to roast him just because of this. But I'm going to play it and we're gonna break it down, all right? So without further ado, let's play from the Dan Le Batard Show. This is Stugotz. I never heard him before, but this is Stugotz on his Lamar Jackson take.
And eager to tell Lamar Jackson something that has not been said by anyone yet.
Every year, Dan, you know I like to do this right around playoff time. I like to list the quarterbacks that have the most amount of pressure on them. And this year, I don't care what happens this weekend, this year, that quarterback is Lamar Jackson. Everything has broken correctly for Lamar Jackson. And if you want to be considered one of the elites, 2 MVPs before the age of 26, not going to do it.
Hey, 2 MVPs before 26 ain't going to do it to be elite. Oh! But it would be elite enough for you for Josh Allen, I bet. It'd be elite enough for you for Justin Herbert, though. It'd be elite enough for you for Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence! But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep it going.
You have everything right in front of you. Everything is there for the taking. You have the number 1 seed. You have the bye week. You have 2 home games to make it to the Super Bowl. You have the Chiefs, a team that has been great for the last 7 or 8 years. They are down. You have no Joe Burrow.
What does not having Joe Burrow have anything to do with it? Oh! Back-to-back seasons. The Baltimore Ravens were number 1 in the AFC North. Back-to-back seasons. And one of those seasons, they were number 1 in the entire AFC. Y'all never said, oh, this doesn't count for Joe Burrow because Lamar isn't there, even though they were leading, and now they're not leading because he's not there. It's just Joe Burrow's magician level of control of his team, of football, his knowledge, his maturity, his Tom Brady-like look. Bro, listen, I'm not even going to tell you what this reeks of, but I'm going to keep it going just because, we got to cover it. So here we keep going.
If you get to the Super Bowl, you're likely going to play Brock Purdy or Jared Goff. If not...
Weren't y'all just the other way talking about Brock Purdy was supposed to be the MVP? Oh! And he was one of them. Now he's saying, oh, well, Brock Purdy's not really the guy because Lamar beat him. So Lamar's supposed to automatically win the Super Bowl. It's automatically his. It just has to be his. Brock Purdy isn't who I thought he was. Right? Oh, even though everybody would probably agree that Brock Purdy has the more talented team. But I digress. We keep going.
Now, when for Lamar Jackson? And if he wants us to stop excluding him from elite quarterback conversations, then he has to get it done this year. Because, Dan, I am telling you, it will never be easier this year, ever, in his entire career, than it will be for him this year. He has it all right in front. A bad Dolphin team, a team that's down, that's injured. He has the Chiefs and Mahomes, they're down. No Joe Burrow. Dan, this is the year.
You know how many years people were hurt in the AFC? Do you have any idea during the Tom Brady reign? Y'all don't remember that? How many times Tom Brady had a cakewalk to the AFC Championship game, not only because his division was absolute dog trash, but multiple injuries to teams that they thought were going to be great, to great players. Did they ever discount Brady in any of those ones? No. See, this is more than moving the goalpost. If you're going to be good to be considered in our elite. You know how he said our? who is y'all? Who is in this group of people that believe Lamar without 2 MVPs is an elite? I want to remind everybody, he's won a Heisman. He's led the league in passing touchdowns once. He's led the league in QBR once. He has been an MVP twice. He's had the best record in the league twice. He wins 79% of his games. He has the second highest scoring offense in NFL history. And you're not elite? Let's keep it going, though.
They are an overwhelming favorite to make it to the Super Bowl.
Overwhelming. Overwhelming to make it to the Super Bowl or to win it, right? I thought the 49ers were over them. Wasn't the 49ers over them? And the Bills are right under them. So only Lamar has to live up to this. Not Josh Allen. No. It's not an easier path for Josh Allen. No. Even though everyone picked Josh Allen to be one of the MVPs, if not MVP of this season, right? As they say, he's a cover athlete of Madden and all this stuff, and he's going to get it, and it's going to be him, Mahomes, and Burrow. And now that Mahomes is dealing with receiver problems like Lamar's had to have been dealing with, and y'all said that Lamar still had to win with all that. Y'all said despite Shannon Sharp and his brother Sterling went on and said, hey, you got to win despite all that, right? You got to go to the dance who you danced with, right? Whoever you danced at with the prom, that's who you got to dance with. That's what they said. And now it's, oh, poor Mahomes. Poor Mahomes. If everything's not perfect for Burrow, oh, poor Burrow. You only won because everything's not perfect for him. Bro, I get so tired of this, but let's keep it going.
And win the Super Bowl. And I am telling Lamar Jackson right now, if you want me to include you in top-tier quarterback conversations moving forward, you better get it done this season. All right. Do it in the Super Bowl!
There it is, the official announcement from Stugotz.
Not anybody else.
Jackson, you've done nothing.
He hasn't.
Do it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, you want to shut Bill Polian up, then this is how you do it. You go to the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl, because it's never going to be easier for you. You would agree, right?
I think he's already done that, Stu. He's already shut Bill Polian up. He's won 2 MVPs as a quarterback.
He doesn't completely shut him up until he gets to the Super Bowl.
How would you categorize an overwhelming favorite in the conference?
I feel, Mike, are they not an
asking.
overwhelming favorites? They're the number 1 seed with 2 home games to get to the Super Bowl.
But they do actually put prices on these things. So, like, what do you think constitutes an overwhelming favorite?
I would say like minus 1,500 or something like that.
Well, they are not that. They are plus money.
Really?
To make
Plus
it to the Super Bowl.
money to make it to the Super Bowl. You know why? Because everybody knows that Lamar has been winning despite some of the deficiencies on his team. The O-line has been erratic. The running back squad has been non-existent. His receivers have had games where they had the toasty. And also the defense has had injuries. But they've still continued to win. The constant in those equations has been Lamar Jackson. He's been the constant.
They're the favorite within their own conference, but to say overwhelming might be a bit of a reach.
Tony, why do you have a giant radiant smile on your face? Is it because you just witnessed Maximum Stugotz and you're still awed as a kid who grew up in this market, as a kid whose father, he
trying to help Lamar out. I want to discuss him when we talk about elite quarterbacks on this show, and I can't because he hasn't won a Super Bowl.
But Tony's father and you...
I'm not going to play no more of that drivel and that trash. Stugotz, I'm going to be real with you. Listen, man, this is what I'm saying. We can't discuss you because you're not elite because you haven't won a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow has not won a Super Bowl, but he considers him elite. Josh Allen hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he considers him elite. Justin Herbert has not won a Super Bowl, but he considers him elite. Trevor Lawrence, he considers elite, but he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Not elite. Josh Allen, he considers him elite, but he hasn't won a Super Bowl. This is the problem that I have with so many people. Because this guy named Stugotz, mind you, somebody sent this to me. I had because mind you, I don't watch the Dan Lebitard show. I don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody sent to me and say, yo, hear this garbage this guy's spewing. And I told him, I'll cover it. I'll make sure I cover it. But this is absolute drivel. Imagine you saying a 2-time. So Dan Marino is an elite all time. Dan Fouts is an elite all time. Jim Kelly, who made it to 4 back-to-back Super Bowls and couldn't get it done, is an elite all time. You see how they try to change it. Listen, this is why I try to tell people sometimes. For the most part, 2 MVPs put Lamar already in Canton, right? A Super Bowl just cements every little thing that people have said. But let me tell you this right now. It's not going to stop even after that. You know what they're going to say? If Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens come out and win the Super Bowl, all they're going to say is that they were supposed to win the Super Bowl. There's an asterisk next to it. Joe Burrow was injured. Patrick Mahomes wasn't Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen was dealing with a flux in his play style. And yeah, that's not really fair because it wasn't maximum hardness for them. So asterisk, that one didn't really count. If he wants to be considered truly elite, he has to do it again. And everybody has to be fully healthy, totally max, and they have to get all the best players on the team. If not, nothing he does counts. That's what they're going to say. And I know some of y'all going to watch it by Nitro. They're not going to go that far. Imagine, most of y'all that watched this show did not believe Lamar was going to get another MVP. Don't even lie. You did not believe he was going to get another MVP. Now he got another MVP, and a lot of people say, I didn't care that he got another MVP. Now he's on the cusp of doing it. You're like, wow, that puts him into historical, like beyond great. It's one thing to win one Super Bowl. People just say, one MVP, and they'd be like, oh, you had one amazing season, one great season. But to say you won 2, and 2 before the age of 26, the man wrapped up the MVP before the last week of the season. He was sitting back, chillax, at home. Stomach ache, drinking Miralax. Let me not. I was trying to rhyme. But, bruh, you see why I get frustrated with things? Because that's the foolishness people will go on there with. But then when you see the quarterbacks he considers elite, you're like, yo, you consider Herbert to be elite? Oh, well, he threw for a lot of passing yards. What does that have to do with anything? Before Lamar Jackson got hurt, his defense was giving up a record amount of points in the fourth quarter. Y'all remember that year? I do. He is won despite of the deficiencies on the Ravens. And the Ravens have been allowed to not surround him with top-tier talent because of his singular greatness. We are hoping Zay Flowers becomes the weapon that will literally be on the levels of a CeeDee Lamb or a A.J. Brown or a Tyreek Hill or a Chase or a J.J., right? We're hoping he does. But we don't know. We had high hopes for Bateman. Has he panned out? And for everyone saying, well, that's probably because Lamar's throwing him the ball, every receiver that is left here has not looked any better. They have looked worse. The only receiver that you can make the comparison they've actually done decent leaving here is DeMarcus Robinson. And he's behind. I want to repeat. He is behind Puka Nacua, right? And who else? Exactly, the Triple Crown winner. So stop with the cap. But this is what Lamar goes through. And do not act like these media people that they're the ones that write the legacy. They're the ones that write the story. Let me tell you right now. He's not the only one that believes this. Remember Doug Gottlieb? You notice how he's been real quiet, real mum? Because he hasn't been able to say anything bad. But to come out there and say Lamar's not elite. After the beating that he put on the 49ers. After the beating that he put on Miami. And now you're saying, well, Miami's not the team that I thought they were. Why? Because Lamar embarrassed them? The 49ers are the team that you thought. Why? Because Lamar embarrassed them? Now it's, hey, you know what I'm saying? He has to win now. There's no reason for him not to win, right? When you know injuries can happen. You don't even put any of his losses into context. But I digress. I super digress. Black hand side! Man, these people piss me off. But what do you guys think? Do you think Stugotz has a point? Or do you think he's just full of it and full of you know what that a lot of these media and fans are full of when it comes to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, because, boy, the backhand this man needs to his jaw piece. But as always, that's the episode of the Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Y'all know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You don't love the comments. And if you haven't done so already, check out the Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes, 3 tiers of content goodness waiting for your consumption. Give it a look, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you would like to donate to the channel and stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR codes to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. So once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Necro, signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yeah.